All right, well, good morning, Derby fans, and welcome to the Big O. We are on track 2, where we're about to see the Texas Roller Girls firing squad take on the Independence Dolls from the Philly Roller Derby. I'm Professor D, and I'm going to be joined here, hopefully in a few minutes, by Magic Pony, who is on track 1 right now. Their track lasted a little bit long, so we are going to get started here without him. Not a problem. We've got Antidote on the line for Philly starting out, and she is standing right behind the Texas Jammer. Oh, that's number 12, so that'll be Brown Butter jamming for Texas and the firing squad. All right, and that whistle has our game underway as Antidote goes and gets pushed out of bounds on the outside. Brown Butter pushes her way up through the front of the pack, takes on all 3 of the Philly blockers, and she is out for lead. Brown Butter and Texas has lead. Just broken out of the pack is Antidote. Brown Butter up there through, calls off the jam. 2 points for Brown Butter and Texas, none for Antidote. She was held back by the Texas defense there in the back. So on this jam, we have got number 11, that is Young MC, jamming for Philly. And we've got number 410, Babyface Assassin, jamming for Texas. Young MC going to the inside. Ooh, pushed out of bounds on the outside is Babyface. She gets pulled all the way back past the jammer line. No pack is called. They have to let her go in front. And there goes the Philly jammer, Babyface Assassin, for the lead. Both teams have lost a blocker to the penalty box. 4 points by Babyface. Texas held a 0 on that pass. So Philly takes the lead in the second jam over Texas 5-2. We've got 9 against 9 out there. Number 9 for Texas is Nikki Tiki Time Bomb, and number 9 is Deb Seriously. So Nikki Tiki Time Bomb is stuck. Deb Seriously is out on her scoring pass. A 3 wall of blockers for Texas in the back. Nikki Tiki out. That Texas jammer grabs 2 points, calls off the jam. Both of these teams taking a little bit of time to feel each other's strategy out here. Philly taking the early lead in their jammer rotation. They've got Brown Butter back on the line for Texas. And jamming out there for Philly is number 144, Holden Killfield. Holden, a little bit bigger of a jammer, tries to take the outside. Is she able to get through? No, she gets dragged all the way back past the apex. Brown Butter gets a forearm penalty, it looks like. Oh, nope, track cut. Track cut will take Brown Butter to the penalty box. Philly's going to have a power jam here now. Holden is out on the inside, grabs lead jammer finally, and she's going to be hanging around for her first scoring pass right now. Philly throws 2 offensive blockers up in there to help her out, but she still gets pushed out of bounds on the insides, gets recycled all the way back around. Clockwise, a block is going to be going to Texas blocker as she heads to the penalty box. So it's going to be 4 against 3 in the pack right now for Philly. Letting Holden push him. There's a tough 3 wall with a triangular defense up in the front as Brown Buddha re-enters this game, still trying to make her initial pass. Brown Buddha out of the pack finally. Holden decides to call it off. She's not getting any traction up there with those Texas blockers. Philly opens up their lead now, 12-2. After the first 5 minutes in this game has elapsed. Antidote once again wearing the star for Philly. And then we've got number 3 out there, Mini Massacre for Texas. Ooh, Antidote takes a big hit. It looks like a hit to the face. Yeah, a high block is going to send number 888, Dolores Fuertes, out to the penalty box. She gets out first. Antidote for the lead, and a track cut is going to take number 3, Mini Massacre, to the penalty box for Texas. So we've got a power jam for Philly. Number 100, Antidote, throws 5 big points in the air. 2 blockers on the track. They're being joined now by number 32, La Voodoo, out of the penalty box. 3 on 4 now. Philly setting up defense in the back for this power jam for Antidote. They throw 1 offense up into the pack. Doesn't help her very much. She gets pushed out of bounds on the inside, decides to call off that jam before Mini Massacre is released from the penalty box. So number 11, Young MC for Philly, is going to be starting here with a power start. Mini Massacre will continue jamming for Texas from the penalty box. She's standing up over there, so she's got less than 10 seconds. Philly with the back wall opens up the door for Young MC as Mini Massacre re-enters, gets drugged back. Lead still available. Young MC gets drugged back. Mini Massacre gets drugged back. Oh, Mini Massacre gets a track cut, so she will be headed to the penalty box for her second 30-second trip. And we've got a track cut also on the Philly Jammer, so we're going to see Mini Massacre released here quickly as Young MC reports to the box. We're jammerless for a second. Mini Massacre gets up and she's going to take it. This jam's obviously going to go for the full 2 minutes since there is no lead jammer. Mini Massacre gets pushed out of bounds on the outside. Ooh, faces 2 Philly blockers in the front. Now the Philly Jammer is back in play. Young MC with a 3 wall of Texas blockers in the front, and a nice hop, skip, and a jump goes Mini Massacre around on the inside. Texas is really putting some huge hits on Young MC, keeping her out, recycling her. Mini Massacre pushing the 3 wall and triangular defense up in front. We've got a multiplayer block. That's going to take a number 66, Little Loca, out to the penalty box for Philly as Mini Massacre gets through for a 5-point pass. Young MC still battling. She's having a lot of trouble with these blockers. She keeps trying a different direction, and they just keep sucking her into their defense. They've got a triangle there with a bracer in the back. So Philly's increased their lead. They're sitting at 26. Now Texas at 11. We've got 9 on 9 again as Deb seriously takes the star for Philly. And Nikki Tiki Time Bomb is jamming for Texas. Nikki up front, Deb in the back. Deb avoiding the track cut. She's able to stay in bounds. The pack is starting to spread out now. Nikki is pushing one blocker to beat. Nikki in the front. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb is your lead jammer, and we've got a forearm that's going to take the Philly blocker out as a star pass has occurred, or at least a star stash. We've got a star stash in there by Deb. Seriously, she decided to take it off. She's holding it. Inactive jammer now as Nikki Tiki Time Bomb runs around and grabs 5 points. Okay, so the star pass actually was able to take place now. Number 33, the pivot, took the star. I'm not sure if she went as the inactive jammer or as a pivot. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb still in there scoring points for Texas. Out of plays called, and she gets around for another 5-point pass. And that's going to end the jam as Texas is able to erase the Philly lead now, 26-26. We're going to sort this out. Yes, so we've got 33 for Philly. Legend went to the penalty box as the jammer after taking the star pass. So number 410, and that is Babyface Assassin for Texas, is going to be wearing the star, jamming unopposed, but a 4-wall of Philly up there in the front to see if that they can slow her down. Are they able to do it? Pushed out of bounds, back in. Now number 33 has been released from the penalty box. She gets pushed out of bounds. And so we've got the Texas jammer. She is out for lead Babyface Assassin. Number 33, Legend, breaks the pack very quickly and is able to get out as Babyface goes through and calls off the jam before Legend can score any points on that. So we're going to put, let me see, they're trying to figure it out, 3 points on the board for Texas for that jam. All right, so jamming for Philly is going to be a Holden Killfield once again. Holden being stuck in the back, and then we've got Brown Butta up there jamming for Texas, and she is also stuck. Holden pushing, as it ends up getting the track cut. So Holden Killfield is going to be going to the penalty box. Brown Butta out there. She gets lead for Texas, and she's out. Philly is setting up their defense in the front. They've got all 4 of their blockers on the track. Texas throws in a bunch of offense and tries to help. Number 51 helping out Brown Butta. Brown Butta left to go and push that pack out of play. Can she do it? K9 is back there bridging. K9 calling for another bridge. 55 throws it. And Brown Butta is out there. She's got 2 more blockers to beat. Can she do it? She's a strong jammer. Can she push through both of these blockers? Still pushing, and she is able to get through. Brown Butta with a hard-fought push through there. But now we've got Holden back in the game. Texas is taking care of the back of that pack. They drag Brown Butta. Philly drags Brown Butta back to the back as Holden tries to do a spin move to get around that defense of Texas in the front. The This game has developed into a defense-on-defense game as both teams are having a hard time, both jammers getting through. You can see Brown Butter right there pushing as hard as she can to get past the number 55 for Philly. That's Kick Ash. She was just holding her back very tightly. Texas at 35 now, Philly at 26. As we've got Nikki Tiki Time Bomb jamming again for Texas, and for Philly is Deb Seriously. Nikki goes down, and so does the Philly line, but she's able to squirt out the front. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb, lead jammer for Texas. Deb Seriously, one more blocker to beat. She gets out on her initial pass. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb hits the back of that pack super hard, is able to slide around on the outside on her tiptoes, staying inbound, is able to call off the jam and put 4 points in the air for Texas. So we've got Antidote out there now, jamming for Philly, and then we're going to see number 3, Mini Massacre, jamming for Texas. Antidote tries to put a hit on Mini Massacre to begin with, but kind of misses a little bit, and then finds a lane on the outside. So Antidote is out, and she is turning on the speed as Mini Massacre gets pushed out of bounds around turn 1. Antidote hits the back of that pack super hard, and she is able to get through. No penalties are assessed, but then there goes number 3, and she's going to get a track cut. Mini Massacre is going to the penalty box for Texas. So Antidote has a power jam now, and she's a very powerful jammer, and she's pushing her way through, ends up getting pushed around on the outside, recycled back, has to get back in there behind turn 1. She's going to take another go at it. She's got one blocker for assistance. Oh, and then runs right into the back of the Texas wall back there. Texas back up to full strength with 4 blockers. They push Antidote out of bounds on the inside. Antidote decides that she wants to call off the jam when she sees Mini Massacre flying out of the penalty box. So 4 points on the last pass for Antidote. That's going to bring Philly now within 4 points of the Texas lead. So we've got Philly sitting at 35, Texas at 39. Young MC jamming once again for Philly, and we've got number 410 Babyface Assassin jamming for Texas. Neither team has any players in the penalty box, so it's going to be full 5-on-5 play here as Young MC gets up there in the front. Oh, and right off the bat, Babyface Assassin is sent to the penalty box. Young MC left as the only jammer on the track. Young MC able to avoid getting the track cut there. Gets pushed out, though, on the outside. Recycled back. She's going to try it again. Oh, there she goes. She is going to abandon any hope that she possibly had of attaining lead jammer status and has passed the star to her pivot. That's number 313, Emma Knockout. So Emma Knockout is now the inactive jammer for Philly. Texas has lost 2 of their blockers to the penalty box. Oh, and then we've got a big clockwise block. So the Texas penalty box is now full. And we've got a multiplayer block taking out another Philly blocker. So the penalties decimate the pack as so Emma Knockout gets knocked out. She's going to be going to the penalty box as the jammer, and now we have the only jammer on the track, which is Babyface Assassin. So she's out there scoring points. Two on two. Now Texas with 3 blockers as Babyface Assassin goes through, puts 5 more points up. The penalty box is slowly but surely getting cleared out now. No lead jammer in this jam. Babyface Assassin is facing off against all of the blockers in the front. She wants 4 points. She gets 4 points on that last pass. And so now what do we see here? We see Texas back up to 58, Philly at 35. And now Brown Buddha jamming for Texas. And we've got in there jamming for Philly, number 9, Deb Seriously. Brown Buddha pushes right up the middle, Deb Seriously back and forth trying to find holes. Texas controlling the back of the pack. Brown Buddha pushing away, 2 more blockers to beat, now 3 as she gets up there in a multiplayer block's going to send a Philly blocker to the penalty box, and Deb Seriously is lead jammer, but Brown Buddha hot on her heels. Let's see what she was going to do with it. Goes through, tries to pick up a point, and she does. 1 point for Deb Seriously and Philly, 0 for Texas. Antidote is going to be jamming again for Philly. She's up there. Philly line moves forward up all the way to the pivot line. Texas takes the back. Antidote pushing through, but the hole goes to number 9, and that's going to be Nikki Tiki Time Bomb, and she's out there jamming. Picks up lead. Antidote being recycled. Oh, and a big jump. She's able to stick it, grab all 5 of the points available. Antidote with a star pass. Antidote successfully gets a star out there, and she passes that off to 66. That's Little Loca. Pivot now, the jammer, and Texas bench tells Nikki Tiki Time Bomb to call it off, as well she should, as Little Loca was about to get into scoring position out there. So Nikki picks up 4 more points for Texas, increasing their lead. Young MC jamming for Philly this time, and we've got number 410 Babyface Assassin out there for Texas pushing in the front. Does she get pushed out of bounds? No, she doesn't. She's able to pick up lead. Babyface Assassin with the lead, and as she is out, whistles are blowing, direction of play, penalty is going to Texas. Young MC out of the pack on her initial pass. And Babyface Assassin calls off the jam after putting 4 points on the board for Texas. So we've got Brown Buddha out there lined up once again. An interesting setup as Philly just has 1 blocker, Little Loca, in the front. This makes it easy for Brown Buddha to get around there. But as the penalty box clears a little bit, the Philly jammer, that's got to be JK Trolling out there with that long red hair, is out, and she's on her scoring pass. So JK Trolling picks up 4. Brown Buddha picks up 4. Texas now gets cleared out, and we will see now. No points go on the board for either team in that last pass. So we've got 9 on 9. Once again, Deb Seriously facing off against Nikki Tiki Time Bomb. Deb seriously tries to take the inside and then cut out. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb straight up the middle is stuck in the back of that pack. Both jammers are going laterally across the track, trying to open up some holes. Neither one successful. Oh, and there goes Deb seriously around the outside, finds a huge lane. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb still not able to get out of the pack. She is stuck as Deb seriously fights off against 3 of the blockers. Now 4 for Texas in the front of that pack. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb recycled once again. Direction of play is going to send number 86 for Philly to the penalty box. Nikki Tiki gets back in at the back of the pack as Deb seriously is fighting through. Nikki Tiki finally out on her initial pass. And Deb seriously decides to call off the jam after putting 4 points on the board for Philly. Lining up farther out again, we've got what looks like a Philly strategy. They're lining up just shy of the pivot line with three blockers in the front there, 4 blockers for Texas, a little bit behind. Both jammers hit the back of the pack pretty hard. For Philly is Antidote, and she is just caught up in a very tight wall. All 4 blockers making contact with Antidote at the same time. And then Babyface Assassin isn't having any better luck. It gets pushed out of bounds by Little Loca, is being recycled all the way around. We're rewinding the entire game all the way around past turn 4 as both jammers are outside of the track being recycled. Little Loca keeps going, decides she wants to stop it. Babyface Assassin is able to jump in. Now Antidote able to jump in. Antidote out in front gets pushed out of bounds. Can she stay out? Yes, she can. Gets recycled. Babyface Assassin still trying hard to get out. A clockwise block is going to take out one of the Philly blockers. Lead is finally called, so Babyface Assassin is lead jammer, and she is out just now on her initial pass. Antidote still unable to break out of the pack, continues to be recycled by a very tough defense that Dallas is putting up here. Dallas in the back, wails on Antidote one more time, pushes her out of bounds. She gets too close to that line each time she tries to get out. Now that she's got the star in her hand. All right, and there goes Babyface Assassin around on her first scoring pass. She puts 5 in the air. So finally, Antidote is able to get that star in the hands of Little Loca, who busts out of the pack. Little Loca out on the initial pass for Philly. Does Antidote see her? She must. The jam is called. 4 points for Antidote. Not Antidote. 4 points for Babyface Assassin, rather. And 0 points on that pass. But they were able to force the call off with that successful star pass finally to Little Loca after some consternation. Texas has opened up the lead by 40 points. Texas 84, Philly 44 as this jam's underway with the Brown Butter jamming for Texas. And we've got number 11, Young MC, jamming for Philly. Gets stuck in the back. Brown Butter finally gets out. Brown Butter is the lead jammer. Philly goes back to give their jammers some assistance. A star pass is attempted. And their pivot does have the star in her hand, so the star pass was successful. Meanwhile, Brown Butter goes around and puts 5 points on the board for Texas. Finally able to get out of the pack is K9. That's Verve for Philly, forcing the Texas to call off that jam. Two more points on that last pass by Texas. They build their lead up 91-44. And this period is running down. As you can see here, we've got just over 1 minute to go in this period. So this has been a very interesting game where both of these teams are really looking for their legs, really, and Texas, I think, has found theirs. We've got a multiplayer block, and that's going to take a Philly blocker out, it looks like, as Mini Massacre gets a drug back around. Oh, and Mini Massacre ends up with a track cut. She's going out. We've got a power jam for Philly. Philly's got an inactive jammer out there. All right, now she has got the star on. That is to Emma Knockout 313. Emma Knockout now the only jammer on the track for Philly. Emma Knockout being pushed out of bounds on the outside, jumps in behind the number 888 for Texas. Now Mini Massacre back in the action. She's out there, both jammers on scoring passes, I believe. A defensive battle is taking place over here in the corner as Emma Knockout gets pushed out on the inside, and Mini Massacre is able to get, nope, I guess that was her initial pass. So Mini Massacre out on her initial pass, scoring by Emma Knockout until she takes a trip to the penalty box. So now the 2-minute jam is going to end. 3 points for Philly, 3 points also for Texas on that jam, and that is going to take us into halftime. So pretty evenly matched at the beginning of this game, and then it looks like Texas really kind of found Philly's number. If they can keep their jammer out of the penalty box, it looks like they're going to be able to do a pretty good job out here. So we are going to go into halftime, and we will be back in just under 10 minutes for the second half of this game. All right, welcome back, Derby fans, to the Big O and the second half here of the Texas Roller Girls Firing Squad and the Philly Roller Derby Independence Dolls. We've seen a game here where Texas has really opened up their lead, and I believe that there have been making some, Philly that is, making some adjustments here at halftime so that they're able to counter what it is that they're seeing. But both teams are playing really good defense, and they're setting up these geometrical formations, both teams that are just very difficult for the jammers to get through. So what we're seeing is that each jammer pushes until there's a penalty typically, and when the penalty comes and one of the opposing jammers gets sent to the penalty box, they get a little bit of traction. Neither team is really doing too much of an offensive push because they've just been having so much trouble holding the jammers themselves. And so that's what we've been seeing here, a real defensive battle. In the first half, Texas has definitely gotten the number of Philly here, but Philly's got some very strong jammers. And so if they can stay out of the penalty box, which is where they are right now, and they're going to start in this second half with Emma Knockout. She's going to be wearing the star from the penalty box and sitting. And number 9 is going to be jamming for Texas. That's Nikki Tiki Time Bomb, very successful in the first half. Nikki Tiki to the inside and then to the out, trying to make her way around. Nikki getting recycled. Is she able to get back in? Yeah, she is able to get back in without the track cut, so that's good. But again, facing off, like I was saying, against these blockers off in the front here, is able to get around. And just by pushing and pushing, there's the star pass, very flourishy star pass over the top. And that's going to be K9 Verve. She's going to be the new jammer for Philly. Comes right in. Texas says, I don't want to have any part of that. So Nikki Tiki Time Bomb calls off the jam, throws 4 more points on the board for Texas. And now we're going to get Deb Seriously back out there jamming. Philly, and it hasn't been really working for them in the first half too much, but you can see that they've taken this position further away from the jammer line where they're almost up to the pivot line. But both teams are forming their defensive walls, as you will. It's almost not even a wall. It's a defensive triangle in the middle there. Both jammers just fighting. We got a bridge by Philly, so a 3-wall in the front. Which jammer can push harder? Brown Butta, we get a multiplayer block, is going to bust up that wall. So the only thing busting that wall is a penalty, and Brown Butta out there for lead. Ow, there's a huge collision there between Deb Seriously and the ref. Deb Seriously lost her helmet cover. Does she see it? Oh, she's injured. So Deb Seriously trying to get up, decides that she's not going to. They recover the helmet cover. Deb Seriously talking to her bench coaches in there. They've called the EMTs out to take a look to see exactly what's going on with her there. Texas taking this opportunity to huddle up here and do a little strategy as they have a comfortable lead sitting at 102. You can see Deb Seriously there explaining to the EMTs, exactly what type of hit she took. She's sitting up talking to him, so that's always a good sign. Both teams actually taking this opportunity to really talk over their strategy. Deb Seriously shaken up, but doesn't appear to be seriously injured. Skates off the track under her own power, so that's good. She is going to have a continued consultation with the EMTs back there as we get the game back underway. So Young MC wearing the star for Philly. We're going to get the game back underway here with Babyface Assassin and jamming for Texas. They've decided, at least for this jam, to start back closer to the jammer line. Texas taking the back. All right, Babyface Assassin squaring off there against Young MC. No pack is called. Texas has to run up. They recycle Babyface Assassin, but she's able to get out of the pack. Babyface Assassin, lead jammer for Texas. Young MC keeps getting recycled. A clockwise block is going to send number 51 off. And now everything is very spread out. Babyface Assassin is able to get back in without getting a track cut. Young MC still battling to get out. Successful star pass. There it goes. That's number 404, JK Trolling. And now the inactive jammer. Oh, gets run over. We'll see if we get any penalties there. No penalties have been called, but they called off the jam once again for an injury. JK trolling up and again off of the track under her own power, but definitely feeling the effects of that big hit. Philly trying very hard to get back into this game, and they're really pushing it, as you can see there. Let me see what we've got. One each blocker in the box for each team. Antidote on the side with the star on her helmet, so I imagine she's probably going to be jamming for Philly when the game starts back up here. She's consulting with her bench staff there. Number 9 wearing the star, getting ready to start off for Texas. That's going to be Nikki Tiki Time Bomb. The official timeout is still going on. I imagine that the refs are talking about exactly the proper place to put the clock and how to start back over after after the jam was called for injury, because that's what happened here when JK trolling went down. All right, so the refs are done consulting. And getting ready to start the game back underway here. All right, the refs are going to go. Nope. Yeah, the refs are talking to the bench staff. And it looks like from the signs there that Ermagerd referee is doing is that there may be an egregious misconduct being called on one of the Texas players that was responsible for the hit. Not egregious, but definitely a penalty. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So nope, maybe not. Okay, so Babyface Assassin was going to the penalty box as the jammer, but now she's not. She's been taken out of the penalty box. Bench staff is trying to determine the proper course of action here, but we still have Nikki Tiki Time Bomb jamming for Texas and Antidote jamming for Philly. All right, that whistle's going to start the jam, and we've got Antidote up the middle, pushing hard. Is able to push over, goes over the top of Texas blocker there, number 32. And in the meantime, Antidote is able to get completely out. Antidote is your lead jammer. Philly loses Little Loca to the penalty box. Antidote pushed out of bounds on the outside as number 9, Nikki Tiki Time Bomb, gets through on her initial pass. Antidote with the track cut. That's going to send her to the penalty box. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb out there, able to push. She's got 2 more blockers to beat. Can she do it? Able to push them out of play, and she is out of the pack for another 5-point pass. Philly setting up in front, defending against the power jam. Texas throws 2 blockers in there for offense for Nikki Tiki Time Bomb. That helps her get through for another 5-point pass and an increase in the Texas lead. Little Loca out of the penalty box. That's going to bring Philly back up to full strength. And Antidote is around. And she is going to continue scoring passes. So that's 5 points for Antidote. No lead jammer on the track right now. Another 15 seconds to see how many points either team can accrue. But Little Loca one more time to the penalty box, this time for a clockwise block. All right, 2 minutes is going to end the jam. 4 and 4 for each jammer on that pass. Philly sitting at 56, and now Texas has increased their lead to 136. So with just under 25 minutes left in the second half, that was a eventful first 5 minutes of gameplay in this second half, as we've got Brown Buddha jamming unopposed for Texas. She's able to hop around out there on the outside, so she has gotten out for lead jammer. Philly taking the front. Brown Buddha out there gets a nice lane cleared for her by number 888, and that's Dolores Fuertes. But they did lose number 808, Sideshow Ho, to the penalty box for a multiplayer block. Now, we've got a penalty on Brown Buddha. She's out on a back block, and Antidote is back into the game as the only jammer. Now Philly's got a power jam. She's able to get around there on the outside. Texas sets up in front. Philly sets up in back. Philly sends 2 blockers up to do some offense. Doesn't help Antidote. She still gets pushed out of bounds on the outside and recycled back. 2 of the blockers were able to slide back. They're recycling her around turn 1. In the meantime, Brown Buddha is released, and she's able to slide right through. Oh, but the outside pack ref says she did that by pushing someone in the back. So she's going to get a back block. That's going to send Brown Buddha back to the penalty box. No, it doesn't look like the penalty's being enforced. Okay, so Brown Buddha is still in there scoring points, but doesn't seem to bother Antidote. Antidote's out there getting them 4 at a time. A sweet one-footed skate around the inside by Brown Buddha. Antidote pushed out, having a hard time getting up. Antidote slow to get up around the outside. The refs are calling for a medic now as the Philly bench staff is going over to check her out. She's up and skating off the track with some assistance. But as I said earlier, the Philly is really trying hard to make up for this deficit, and they're playing hard. And unfortunately, they're getting some of their skaters banged up for it. If they end up losing Antidote, then they're going to be losing one of their strongest jammers in this game. So she's off. She was skating out. She's being taken a look at here by the EMTs. And hopefully she'll be back in the game here pretty soon for Philly. In the meantime, we've got Babyface Assassin out there. And she's going to be jamming up against number 9, Deb Seriously, for Philly. Babyface Assassin taking a close and up close and personal look at the back of those Philly blockers. Deb seriously decides that she wants to wait a little bit. Now she's going to battle up against two blockers in the front, able to get through. Deb seriously for Philly is the lead jammer. And then pushing through the pack is Babyface Assassin. Deb seriously scores 4 points real quick and calls that jam off. Philly with 2 blockers in the penalty box. Texas with 1 standing. So it's going to be 2-on-3. Lil Loca is up in front wearing the pivot. As we got Mini Massacre out there pushing on that tough 2 wall. That's looks like Emma Knockout and Lil Loca up there in front holding her back, and they finally have to let her go. She's through for lead. In the meantime, though, we've got Young MC up there still working on her initial pass. Mini Massacre now pushing. A defensive struggle here, as we've been seeing all day. Mini Massacre gets some traction, and she's pushed out of bounds on the outside, but it was out of play block, so she's going to jump right back in, grabs the full 5 points. Successful star pass by Philly. Now Lil Loca is the inactive jammer out on her initial pass. Mini Massacre goes through on another scoring pass. She throws up 4 points. It looks like in Philly and Texas both lose a blocker. Lil Loca on her first scoring pass, she puts 5 in the air for Philly. I'm sorry, 4. All right, 4 for Philly, 4 more for Texas. They call off the jam. Battle of the Nines in this jammer rotation. These guys are lining up together. Oh, and there goes Deb seriously. She's passing the cap off to K9. She gets it. She's looking the ref showing her the out of play, and she ends up getting a penalty for failure to return. So that star pass was illegal somehow, being waved off because the penalty box is full, perhaps. As the former jammer goes to the penalty box as the jammer. And 5 more points for number 9. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb running through again. Scoring. 2 Philly blockers can't hold her back. Another 5 points for Nikki Tiki Time Bomb. Deb seriously, formerly the jammer, currently the jammer, never not the jammer apparently, is now back on the track, gets through, is not able to get any points. 5 more points for Nikki Tiki Time Bomb. So something that happened over there on the other side of the track that I did not see from my angle was an improper star pass. But Verve never did end up, oh no, she is in the penalty box. Okay, so she ended up in the penalty box for that as a blocker. And now we have number 410, Babyface Assassin, jamming once again for Texas. And that's going to be J.K. Trolling with her long red hair covering her numbers. You can see her talking there to Babyface Assassin. After all that Star Pass drama that occurred in there, and penalties and not penalties and inactive jammering, the refs are sorting it all out with another official timeout. Making sure everything is credited properly. Yep. They're ready to go. That whistle is going to end the timeout. The official timeout. Next whistle starts the jam as J.K. Trolling jamming for Philly. Babyface Assassin on the line for Texas. Babyface Assassin gets down low and gets down ahead. She's got one blocker helping her with some offense up in front. That is number 51, Shiner Blonde. Able to help her enough. She's able to get out, grabs lead jammer. In the back of that pack, we've got a star pass from J.K. Trolling to K9 Verve, who is now the inactive jammer. Verve's putting on the star as she goes around. She is not lead, but out on her initial pass as Babyface Assassin is wildly calling off the jam over there. Puts 3 points on the board for Texas. Brown Buddha once again jamming for Texas, and we have number 9, Deb Seriously, jamming for Philly. One Philly blocker in the box. 4-on-3 pack advantage goes to Texas as they push Deb Seriously out of bounds on the inside with their tough 4-wall. And there goes Brown Buddha, and she is out, and she attains lead jammer status once again in this game. Deb Seriously passing the star off with a flourish up to her pivot. That's number 313, Emma Knockout. Brown Buddha sees it, calls off the jam, but not before Philly can score 2 points. Those are the happiest 2 points that they've scored throughout the entire game. By the way, their bench staff is reacting. Nikki Tiki Time Bomb once again. And then we have Young MC jamming for Philly. Ooh, a pile up in the front takes both jammers down. Young MC towards the middle, the inside, up on her toe stops. Ooh, gets pushed down, but she stays in bounds. Still has to beat those blockers up in the front. Is able to do it. All right, Nikki Tiki Time Bomb is out. She's not lead. Young MC is lead, but she's in the back, decides that she wants to call it off because she ends up getting sucked back in there. So 0-0 for each team on that jam, and they're lined up and ready to rock and roll one more time here already before the other lineup even gets off the track here. So this time we've got J.K. Trolling jamming for Philly, and number 3 is on the line, Mini Massacre for Texas. Mini Massacre tries for the inside. JK even going back afterwards, and that strategy works for her because she's able to get out front, even though number 13 got a multiplayer block for Philly. That's Sosa. She is sent to the penalty box. Mini Massacre fighting through in the front is able to make it. Yeah, she gets out on her initial pass. Scoring pass for JK Trolling. ends up calling off the jam right there as she sees Mini Massacre turned on the afterburners, and she was heading up there to catch her. 3 points for Philly on that pass. So Deb Seriously for Philly. Babyface Assassin on the line for Texas. Trying to figure out which is the best tactic to take to get around these blockers. The jammers bouncing around in the back. We get a clockwise block that's taking a Philly blocker out. Deb Seriously recycled once again. Neither jammer has made it out yet. Babyface Assassin gets down and uses her stature to duck underneath one of the bigger blockers for Philly. Now, so we stashed the star by Deb Seriously so that it could help her get out, which it did. So she was able to get out on her initial pass. 0-0 on that one. So it's nice to see number 144, Holden Killfield, back out there jamming for Philly after her injury. She is back in action. She went down in the back there, but they've got, Texas has got Brown Buddha up in the front. She gets through and is able to attain lead, and Holden gets a back block, and she's going to the penalty box for Philly. So we got a power jam for Texas and Brown Buddha. Brown Buddha facing off against a number 88 in the front of the pack there. Has to let her go. Philly skates forward when they see the Texas offense coming up. Brown Buddha still able to get around the two blockers. 5 points for Texas and Brown Buddha, 0 for Philly in that jam. That whistle starts the jam, and we've got number 3, Mini Massacre, out there in front for Texas. A multiplayer block sending at number 55 from Philly to the box. Mini Massacre out of the pack. She is the lead jammer. Holden back in. Oh, and Mini Massacre gets thrown out on a back block. She collided very hard with a blocker there, and that's going to send her out. So Holden is going to be on a power jam. Still hasn't completed her initial pass. She ends up getting pushed around there to the apex, decides to take that star off, attempts the pass. The pass is successful, and the initial pass has been completed. So the jammer now for Philly is going to be number 313, Emma Knockout. Number 55 out of the penalty box for Philly. Emma Knockout not having any luck getting through the pack. But now Mini Massacre back in action, and she's also on a scoring pass. Mini Massacre pushing her way through. Philly being pushed out in front. Philly successfully bridging. 3 blockers in front. We're going to get an elbow that's going to take a Texas blocker out. That's going to be number 51 for Texas. Shiner Blonde going back to the penalty box one more time. Mini Massacre up front to contend with 2 Philly blockers. Emma Knockout goes to her knees there, and she pops back up momentarily. And so now we're defensively battling again here in this game. We've got Mini Massacre up in front, and then time runs out on that jam. 4 points goes on the board for Philly, and I believe that's 4 for Texas also. So 4 and 4. J.K. Trolling wearing the star for Philly. Has the front position in there, and in the back is Babyface Assassin just pushing. She busts loose and finds a big hole around the outside. Babyface Assassin is lead jammer. J.K. Trolling still can't get any traction. She's looking to pass the star. She has taken it off, but her pivot is way in the front. That's going to be Legend up in the front, and she's leading that 3 wall that's keeping Babyface Assassin back, as we've got a penalty being called. It looks like blocking with her head, possibly. Yep. And so J.K. Trolling is going to go to the penalty box for a blocking with her head penalty as the jammer, but not wearing the star. In the meantime, we have over here on the other side of the track, Mini Massacre contending with this Philly wall. Texas puts a nice screen together for Mini Massacre so that she can get around on the outside. Her bench is telling her keep going. Mini Massacre throws all the points in the air. Battling Texas now with one offensive player in the front trying to be taken out there. Number 404 from Philly, J.K. Trolling back in the action again. She pushes her way through. She's the jammer. She still hasn't put the star on her head, but she has completed her initial pass. Boom, there goes the star on the head. And Babyface Assassin calls off that jam when she sees her coming. Now here comes the Philly bench staff, and they are requesting an official review.
Remember, there's some selected team merchandise available all weekend. When the teams are playing, there's merch on sale.
So I know that they've brought a microphone out to the Zebra huddle there, and hopefully we'll be getting an update on what this official review is about.
So the official review being requested is that the jammer going through the pack did the old swimming move and pulled the arms to make her way through the pack, which would be theoretically a forearm penalty. It happened over in this corner. That is what the request for the official review is, a penalty to the jammer, a forearm.
Okay, so Philly is looking to get a forearm penalty on the Texas jammer when she went through that pack. They said that she had pushed the blockers out of the way using her arm, and that was the only way she was able to be successful to get through there. So we'll see what the Revs have to say about it. Let me see, with 217 points sitting on the board for Texas, and 3 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game. Philly sitting at 82. There's a lot of smiles on the Texas bench right now. They're very happy with their performance. Philly staying very serious about this game. Referees talking about all of the details and seeing who saw what. Looks like they're about to come back and get the attention of the captain so that they can explain here what the outcome of the official review is.
to the left and more. The Wildcat Cafe.
Looks like we've got a canine spectator over there. You can see he's waiting to see what the official review is about too.
Okay, so that was an unsuccessful official review.
Okay, so it looks like Philly was unsuccessful, and so no call on the Texas Jammer will stand.
So therefore, the official review has been denied.
Gave everybody a chance to get some
Goes on as
well-needed rest here as Philly fields Antidote to Jam, and Texas is got on the track as their jammer, number 9, and Nikki Tiki Time Bomb. Antidote with a little hit off of the line gets out there, and she is able to get through and get lead jammer very quickly, but Nikki Tiki Time Bomb has also exited the pack. Antidote hits hard and calls off the jam, is able to pick up a couple points. 2 points before Nikki Tiki Time Bomb reaches critical mass. So for Philly, Holden Killfield is back on the line as the jammer, and Brown Butta jamming for Texas. Holden around the outside. Can she make it? No, not before Brown Butta can get out. Oh, there's another pileup. Holden gets recycled around. Brown Butta being held there. Number 27 is trying to help her out, but Holden gets a track cutting penalty, and she's going to be going to the penalty box for Philly, leaving Brown Butta as the only jammer on there, having to try to beat those 3 Philly blockers. Out of play is called. They have to let her go. Pack has been reformed, so they were able to put a little bit more heat on her, but she was able to get out. And there goes number 52 for Texas, a Ruby Ring on a multiplayer block. And number 313, Irma Knockout, cuts the track inadvertently. Brown Butta still going around and scoring points. She's lead jammer and picks up another 5. Brown Butta pushing ahead to there, though the multiplayer block is called. Number 13 for Philly, Sosa, gets sent to the penalty box on the multiplayer block, and there goes Brown Butta for blocking with her head. And we've got a star pass from Holden to number 33, and at the end of that jam, a clockwise block is going to send number 27, Peace War for Texas, to the penalty box. So we've got JK trolling on a power jam for Philly. She is out there, picks up lead, goes down to her knees. One blocker is able to get in front of her, but she's able to defeat that. She's going around. Brown Butta now out of the penalty box, hits the back of that pack. Is unable to complete her initial pass before getting pushed into a referee on the outside. But JK trolling goes around for a 5-point pass. Brown Butta finally out on her initial. JK back and forth. Brown Buddha now on a scoring pass herself is able to get around. 4 points for Brown Buddha in Texas. JK passes the star off to K9. Verve now is the inactive jammer holding the star and trying to push her way through. And we get a penalty on number 27. She's going back to the penalty box. Peace war for Texas. In the meantime, Brown Buddha throws up 5 more points for Texas. Oh, Brown Butter collides into the back of JK, ends up with a back block. So now she's going to the penalty box. Verve, now wearing the star, the only jammer on the track for Philly, goes around, completes her scoring pass with 5 points.
That's a 5-point pass this time for K9.
Verve once again in there. Texas successfully bridging, and that's going to end the jam. So we've got just over 1 minute left to go in this game. Texas with a commanding lead, 238 to Philly's 96. Young MC jamming for Philly. Brown Buddha in the penalty box for Texas. Young MC up. Gets pushed out of bounds on the inside, recycled all the way back, almost to the jammer line. Tries again, pushing hard. Young MC against this 3-wall. Tries to get around, gets pushed out again. Recycled back again to the jammer line. In the meantime, Brown Buddha flies out of the penalty box, and she picks up lead jammer. Young MC finally able to get out of the pack. Brown Buddha hits the pack again hard, ends up picking up another back block. You can see the ref out there signaling. Okay, she hears it, she gets taken out. Back to the penalty box. Young MC with the star in her hand, now passing it. Young MC passing the star through the pack, but I think that it was dropped. Nevertheless, coming up with it and placing it on her helmet is number 11, Young MC for Philly. So she took it off, I think maybe dropped it, picked it back up, and put it back on, and just scored 5 more points. Brown Buddha, in the meantime, is sitting in the penalty box waiting to get out. The 2 minutes expires. Oh, nope, has not expired yet. That is the game clock that expired. The jam clock still has 30 seconds, 31 seconds on it. Brown Buddha back on the track. Young MC into it. Again, pushes. Both jammers taking a lot of abuse on the outside there, so we end up getting a track cut. Brown Buddha gets to spend the final few seconds of this game in the penalty box. Young MC drug back one more time. And that is going to be the 2 minutes that is going to end that jam and end this game with an unofficial final of the Texas Roller Girls Firing Squad 238 and the Philly Roller Derby Independence Dolls coming in at 109. This game started out early on with these teams being fairly even matched, and then it just seems like Texas got the number of Philly, and they were able to capitalize on it. Philly had a few injuries too that unfortunately made it difficult for them to keep a full lineup of healthy skaters out there. So Texas is getting ready to take their victory lap. And there they go. right, and there goes Philly. That was definitely a hard-fought battle for them. Fortunately, it doesn't look like they ended up with any injuries that were going to last, as all of our injured skaters are up and they're participating in this victory lap for Philly. So that's going to close us out for this game, and we will be back here on this track, and we're going to see the Emerald City take on Sacred City.